although we haven't started the meeting yet, we are live streaming.
Yes.
We'll wait about 30 more seconds and then we can get started. All right, I'm going to start today's Opportunity Youth Academy Governing Board meeting. Today is Tuesday, January 31st, 2023, and this is the Governing Board meeting for the month of January. I'm calling this meeting to order and at the same time affirming that I, Dr. Mary Ann Dewan, County Superintendent of Schools, am here present. And at this time, I'd like to introduce staff who are providing staff to the meetings and request Director Morales. Could you introduce yourself and other members of staff who are present?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Dewan. My name is Phil Morales. I'm the Director of Opportunity Youth Academy. We also have joining with us is Dr. Bonduras, who's the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Dr. Catherine Everett, who is Assistant Principal of Opportunity Youth Academy, and Ms. Blanca Morales, who is our Administrative Assistant for Opportunity Youth Academy.
All right, well, thank you all for being here, and to note for the audience that this meeting is being live streamed. The next item is adoption of the agenda, and at this time I will take action to adopt the agenda as it was presented, and it is available in board docs as well. Director Morales, are there any members of the public wishing to make comments at this time?
I have 4 comments that are not items related to the agenda. Would you like me to read those in now?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to allow 1 minute per comment.
Sure. The first comment. Oh, and then also, do I read the name? I don't think I've ever done reading comments. Do I read the name of the person submitting the comment or just the comment itself?
You would read the name, and this would be just for this meeting only. This is our last meeting where we're operating under AB 361.
Oh.
So for today's meeting, we'll allow you to read these comments into the record, but again, 1 minute per comment, please.
Wonderful. Okay. So this is from Natasha Trin. It says, farewell and good luck to your retirement, Blanca. And thank you for welcoming me when she got here. The second comment is from one of our teachers, Ms. Bravo. It says, thank you to Blanca for always supporting teachers and our students. OYA would not be what it is today without you. You will be sorely missed, and you are definitely leaving big shoes to fill. Congratulations on your retirement. I do not know how you were able to retire at 21. Haha. The extra comment is from Ms. Ramos. It says, hello, my name is Christina Ramos. I'm one of the 3 navigators. At Opportunity Youth Academy, I serve 3 different sites, OYA Snell, OYA Conexión, and the newest site, OYA Metro Ed. The other navigators serve 2 different sites. Lupe is at South County and Washington, and Antonio is at Sobrado and the Hub. Our caseloads include 100+ students. As navigators, we work to re-engage students and use different strategies, keep students engaged. And so student opportunities, check-ins, provide resources. Navigators work directly with students, other OYA staff, and local agencies to provide OYA students with the best wholesome school experience. Yes, we care about students' academic success, but cannot forget our responsibility as support staff to provide the extra layer of care and support for our students who have not had the best school experience. We strive for students to have a positive school experience and build positive relationships with adults in our community. As OYA continues to grow, it is imperative that we also grow the OYA Navigator team to ensure our at-promise youth receive the best education. Thank you, Christina Ramos. And the last comment is from Julianne Delara. It says, congratulations on your new adventure, Blanca. Congratulations on your retirement. And that is all the comments I have.
Thank you, Director Morales, for the public comments and for reading them into the record. Much appreciated. Our next agenda item is consent action items. We have 2 items under the consent calendar. At this time, I'm taking action to approve both consent action items 3A and 3B. Moving on to agenda item 4, this is an action item. The subject of this action is to approve the art, music, and instructional materials discretionary block grant expenditure plan. I'd like to request Director Morales for a staff presentation on this item before I consider action.
Okay, I'm going to set up the presentations.
Director Morales, if you're talking, I can't hear you. I think the live stream can hear you, but I cannot. Can you unmute?
Okay.
There you go. Thank you.
Thanks. Sorry about that. Good afternoon, Dr. Dewan, students and staff and community. The Arts, Music, and Instructional Materials Discretionary Block Grant provides support for supplemental programming for the core academics program, music and art, school climate, book collections, and other supplies. This afternoon, I'll be presenting the block grant plan to you. The Art, Music, and Instructional Materials Discretionary Block Grant is provided to LEAs to support a well-rounded educational program for students. The grant may be used for materials and professional development for academics to include art and music, or all academic courses. The grant may also be used to provide professional development and instructional materials for best practices in improving school climate. Other optional uses of the grant include purchases of book collections to promote independent reading, operational costs for programs, or COVID-19 supplies and upgrades. The Art, Music, and Instructional Materials Discretionary Block Grant will be available to school programs upon Opportunity Youth Academy Governing Board approval of the expenditure plan. The estimated value of the one-time funding grant for Opportunity Youth Academy is in the amount of $114,145 to be used through 2026. OYA intends to use the grant funds to purchase digital libraries with a focus on materials related to environmental studies, career tech education, social emotional learning, and content for math, ELA, and science. We will also purchase supplemental instruction materials specifically for math and reading. Next steps to the Arts, Music, and Instructional Materials Discretionary Block Grant include approval of the expenditure plan by the OYA Governing Board, and then program will begin in February and may be offered through 2026. And that is the presentation, Dr. Dewan.
Great. Could you put the slide deck up again for me, please, just to take a quick look? And go to if you could go back one.
Sure. Keep going.
No, go back to slide 4. Okay, thank you. Could you just share a little bit about the environmental studies curriculum and materials that you're considering?
So the environmental studies and curriculum that we are considering is embedded in the Edgenuity courses that we have. We are working with Jen Munch, who will be looking at that curriculum and pulling out opportunities that we can build up projects for our students. So it'll be based in that Edgenuity courses that we have. And then again, working with Jen Munch to do that. which would be along with professional development for our staff on how do we implement that environmental curriculum.
Okay, great, thank you. Are there any public comments on this agenda item?
There are no public comments on this.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'll take action to approve the art, music, and instructional materials discretionary block grant expenditure plan as presented. I will just share briefly related to this item that in the governor's January budget proposal, he does indicate the possibility that in year 2 or 3, that some of the allocations for this block grant might be reduced. Of course, we won't know for sure until the budget is officially adopted in June or potentially as late as July by the legislature. But just a heads up that there is that possibility that we could see slight reductions in funding in future years for this block grant. The other thing I want to mention just for the public is that although this grant is referred to as the Art, Music, and Instructional Materials Discretionary Block Grant, it's very heavy on the discretionary. So that's why the expenditures are permitted in so many areas, including environmental studies. And I want to extend my appreciation to staff for considering the full range of possibilities that would meet the needs of our Opportunity Youth Academy students. So, thank you. Our next agenda item is 4B, which is to request approval of the school accountability report cards for Opportunity Youth Academy. And Director Morales, I again would like a presentation on this item before I take action.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Dewan. So what is a SARC? A school accountability report card, or also known as a SARC, is an annual report to parents and community and is required by the state of California. The SARC provides parents and community with valuable information about the overall performance of the school. Demographics, student testing data, teacher qualifications, textbook sufficiency, and school safety are among the many areas that are covered in this report. Although there is a great variation in the design of the school report cards, they generally begin with a profile that provides background information about the school and its students. The profile usually summarizes the school's mission, goals, and accomplishments. And again, demographics and student testing data, teacher qualifications, and such are also covered in the report. There are 5 straight priorities that we look at in our SARC, and here listed is in their priority 1. We look at standards, or the standard aligned curriculum, which we are 100% currently through Sciatech and eventually through Edgenuity. We have fully credentialed teachers. They have both a special ed credential and a general credential. We did the fit report inspection back in September, and we showed an overall good in all of our facilities. Our priority 4 is our pupil achievement. 2 areas that we look at is our CASP ELA, and we showed that 26% met or exceeded in our CASP in 2021. And also in our math is 3% met or exceeded in our math testing last year. We do have parent involvement, and these are the 3 areas that we do have the strongest parent involvement in our school site council meetings, in our LCAP surveys that just went out, I believe in November. And we had a large engagement both in parent and in student. And then school engagement activities such as our back to school, our parent engagement days at our different sites, our resource fairs. We make sure that we want to include our parents in those events as well. Our priority 5 is our pupil engagement. Our high school our dropout rate is 35%. Our high school graduation rate is 22%, but that's based on the 4-year cohort. It was higher when it was a 1-year cohort, but because we are because of the waiver and the situation with the DOS, we're following the 4-year cohort, which is at 22%. And our priority 6, which is our school climate, We have 0% suspensions or expulsions, which we're very proud of. How often is the SARC updated? Well, we're doing the update every year, which is, and then we have to publish before February 1st, which is tomorrow. The school administration reviews and updates the SARC, and then we bring it to this board and we have a discussion or answer any questions that we may have. And we use document tracking, our DTS system, where all the data is pulled and loaded and all the narrative is created and written out through our through the DTS. And how can a parent obtain the SARC? It's either in, it's posted on the CDE website, or it's also posted on our website at opportunityyouth.seccoe.org.
Thank you. If you could leave that up and go back to the summary page with the data for me. Thank you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I am wondering about attendance data.
Yes, the attendance data as it relates to absenteeism or just overall attendance, Dr. Dewan?
Probably both, if you have that type of information that you can share. I think it's something of importance as we consider pupil engagement.
Yes. So 21, 22 chronic absenteeism. I am showing that the chronic absenteeism rate that has been posted, that's been published in pulled from the CDE and published in the SARC, it's at 91.1%, which is a high percentage of students for us. Understanding that our enrollment is always flexible, so students are starting and stopping at any point. So it ranges up and down, but for the most part, that absenteeism rate is always high.
So it would be, so that number is saying that 91%, almost 92% of the young people enrolled in Opportunity Youth Academy are chronically absent?
Yes, that's what that would say.
Yeah, that's extremely high. I don't know that there are any ratings on the dashboard high enough to express that level of concern. Okay. And then the related question I have is, when we designed the petition, the charter design for the program of Opportunity Youth Academy, we developed the program to be a blended learning model based on the Back on Track and having availability for 20 or more hours of instruction. That's the program model and design. The funding model was independent study, but Opportunity Youth Academy is not an independent study. It was not authorized to be an independent study program. It was authorized to be a blended learning Back on Track model. So I'm wondering if you could speak to how that program model is being implemented now that we're coming hopefully out of the worst of COVID and can be meeting the full expectation of our program design, and the degree to which that might assist us with pupil engagement and also attendance.
Right. So that Back on Track model definitely is, what it does is it focuses on that college and career readiness preparation piece of that blended learning, which we are, I believe, starting to really focus, or at least getting our students in seat, if you will, following that model through those 3 different phases. We're doing that, and we're seeing the most success of that is through our our Metro Ed group of students that are actually showing up to school, that are in seat, but they're also doing that portion of having to still work independently So they're completing both the in-seat work, working in the classroom, which is kind of that cohort model, and then also going into the classroom and completing, like I said, their high school credits, courses. So that's truly that blended model that we would like to see in all of our sites, so that we are looking at that cohort model, which is focused on career or college and career preparation. So having lessons that could be taught in the classroom around that curriculum, but then also giving them, like I said, that independent, so that they're working at their own pace, they're completing their credits with the purpose or with the goal of at graduation, they're walking away with high school complete or high school diploma, prepared for college or career, and in some cases, hopefully, some kind of certification that they've completed a career tech pathway, or they've completed some preparation that will then take them into that post-secondary. Mm-hmm. We're seeing that actually starting to build. And as that's happening, I think we're getting more students that were actually showing up and being in seat or at sites a little longer, as opposed to that minimum time. We're seeing them there a little longer as at max time.
Yeah. And what are we communicating today is the minimum?
It is the minimum of 20 hours, which is 4 hours a week, or 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. And again, that's based on that work production. But what we're trying to tell them, our students, is don't think about the work production, think about the support you're getting at the site. So the more you're at site and you're accessing the teacher, the navigator, the paraeducator, all of the support staff, then you're getting the full kind of support that you need being at site. So the more work you do and the more engagement you have, the better chances you have on accessing your post-secondary and all the supports, housing, all the things that they need so that they can be successful.
Mm-hmm. And along those same lines, I think that the instruction around English language arts and math and preparation for different types of assessments is also part of that back on track, and utilizing that time with the teacher for tutoring, for deeper engagement, and also potentially for career exploration and exploring enrichment opportunities for young people in particular areas that they may have interest in. So I wonder if we had more fidelity towards those hours, less focus on the independent study model, and kind of really remembering that model is our funding model, but not our program design. If we might see some movement now that we're hopefully a little bit more normalized with COVID in the community, on our ELA and math CASP, and also on our attendance, graduation rates, and dropout rates. So I'd like to explore more of this with you, perhaps a future meeting, if you and the team would like to do a presentation or some other way that we can continue to collaborate, invest in, and support the blended learning model as stated in our petition.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for that opportunity.
And thank you, and to all the staff, for everything you've done during the 3 years. I just imagine that the support that you've all provided to the students during this 3 years of the emergency has been really life-changing for the students. So we really appreciate all of the hard work and the amazing team that makes up Opportunity Youth Academy. So with that, I will take action to approve the SARC. And I'll move to agenda item number 5, board member reports. My report today is to congratulate Blanca Morales on her upcoming retirement, and to thank her for all of her contributions to the SCCOE before OYA, during and throughout OYA. We really appreciate you. Happy retirement.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our next, when is our next Opportunity Youth Academy board meeting? Director Morales, I don't see it stated on the agenda.
It's February 16th. Is that correct, Blanca? Can you check? I know she was checking on it today. It's February 16th.
February
February
16th.
16th.
Okay.
Okay.
All
great,
right.
thank
So
you.
we will still be operating under AB 361 for the February meeting. And we will move to back to our pre-COVID operation style effective March the 1st. So any meetings March 1st or after will be back in person.
Wonderful. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you to all of the team, and this meeting is adjourned. Be well.
Thank you, Dr. Wan. Take care.
Thank you.
That was your last one, Blanca.
So did she say they go back to live?